how do you even, I'm literally speechless. Like, I don't know how to even start this video. Wow. GameStop had a pretty good day today. Again, this is bonkers. It's the one word that keeps coming to mind over and over and over. Absurd. This is absurd. The short squeeze is in full swing. Where it ends, no one knows. And one thing is for sure, the current valuation of the GameStop stock is way, way, way more than what the company is actually worth currently. But that doesn't matter in a short squeeze. And I've said this before hundreds of times to people where they keep saying, who's paying these prices? These crazy high prices, absurd prices, if you will, going into after hours trading well beyond the $200 per share price. It's not, for the most part, right now, retail investors. That ship has kind of sailed, in my humble opinion. Yes, you get the once in a while, the people will be in there buying, trying to get the FOMO, trying to jump in on this. But for the most part, it's the full-time financial institution, hedge funds that were knee-deep in shorting this stock and found themselves absolutely screwed. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe and bell for notifications. I am currently in a full-on GameStop coverage mode. GameStop. I call GameStop GameStop now. A Freudian slip. Because it has just completely enveloped my life, along with plenty of other people out there. It is the talk of the town. I was talking to my brother the other day, and he said that his wife was telling him that their school district had a thread talking about GameStop stock. A bunch of moms that don't invest are talking about this. Like, that's how far it has reached so far. I am not a prognosticator. I have no idea where it's going to go from here. I mean, the sky is literally the limit. I hear people throwing out price points of $800, $690.69, $420.69, obviously. I've heard people saying $1,000 or more. I mean, we're getting into the full-on throw your darts at the board. Who knows where they're going to land? I mean, for all we know, it could open tomorrow and just completely tank and just go straight down and the short squeeze will be over. I don't think it's over yet, but I do think we are in the midst of it, obviously. It's been building up for a while, and I know the higher the price gets, the more weary people feel. I've had plenty of people, even just today, that were telling me I need to get out now, that I'm going to get burned if I stay in this trade for any longer, because it has run its course, and apparently everybody on the sidelines is an expert on where this is going to go. Meanwhile, me, the investor of GameStop, who literally made a video telling you guys, this is what I'm investing in and here's why, at $4. A couple people listened. Those that did made hell of a return. Congratulations. Thank you for listening to me. Sometimes I feel like I'm just yelling into the vast abyss of the internet where I'm like, look, everyone, here is a deep value stock that is primed for a turnaround with tons of catalysts. And everyone's like, oh, he's not popular enough to listen to. Like, that's literally what it comes down to. And it drives me insane. But whatever. I mean, all I can do is tell you guys. And if you listen, great. If you don't, maybe next time you will. But regardless of that, these people are telling me that I need to sell it now before it closes. It's going to tank in the after hours today. And then Elon Musk tweets about it, saying GameStonk, and then linking Reddit's thread about GameStop and Wallstreetbets. And from that, spikes after hours to well into the 200s. At one point, I think it hit $250 or something like that. It was insane. I can't even keep up with it at this point. And I mean, I had a price target in my mind where I was like, okay, if it gets to like $200, then I'm probably going to start exiting the position. I don't want to say entirely, but the vast majority of it. And now here we are. We're in after hours trading. I don't know what it's going to open at tomorrow, but where I'm finding myself in a situation where I'm like, okay, it's where I thought it was going to get to. I can't feel confident going too much further with this. You gotta have some legit brass balls to stay with this, because the longer it goes, the more it's going to fall. And when it falls, it's going to fall hard. And I'm not saying that to scare people, because nobody knows when that fall is going to be. It's just more of a word to the wise. And I know people are concerned for me with this, but at the same time, I'm like, this was the most heavily shorted stock on Wall Street. In fact, it might even still be, because as it grows in price, people keep undercutting it and betting against it and shorting it more. And it's like this perpetual cycle where the retail investors aren't giving an inch. They're just saying F you to the people shorting it. It's not even about GameStop anymore. I'm starting to wonder if this ever was about GameStop, to be honest. I mean, yeah, Ryan Cohen obviously was a catalyst. The next generation consoles were a catalyst. The future possibilities were a catalyst. All that's well and good. But nothing's happened. Like, it's not even about GameStop anymore. This is now, like I said in my previous video, it's a war against the institutions. And the people are winning. It's not even a fair fight right now. Like, this is insane. This is absolutely madness. Like, you're having people like, or networks like CNBC talking trash about how GameStop is breaking the entire algorithm, how Wall Street is broken, how the stock market this is showing proof that there's a gigantic bubble, that all these other things, these talking heads that are saying it's absurd, without looking at any of the actual details of why it's going up. They're just saying, looking at the price of the stock and saying, yeah, that company was on the verge of bankruptcy. It shouldn't be this high. But they're just blaming it on Reddit for bringing it up, instead of saying, oh, wait, no, actually, if you look at the facts, there were just tons of institutions shorting the absolute hell out of GameStop. And they got caught. And right now, they are screwed. Like, the people that are getting margin called by financial institutions, these hedge funds, having gigantic debts to pay and not having the money to back it up, that's going to really bankrupt a lot of these institutions. It's going to put a lot of people out on the street that were making billions off of hammering, sometimes deserved, but mostly undeserved, news stories that were just completely railing GameStop over and over again for the only reason to scare people out of investing in it and to make people think that it was an antiquated business model that couldn't be successful, that it was a blockbuster video. It never was. This is a completely different situation. And for people to make that association just shows how disconnected from reality they truly were. But ultimately, where does that leave us? What happens moving forward? Right now, as I'm recording this video, it is Tuesday. We still have 3 days left in the trade week. I hear on Friday that there's going to be an all-out war for the price based off of a whole bunch of different algorithms. A story that I read on Wallstreetbets, it was fascinating. But I don't even know, because wild cards are abound. You got, I don't even know how to say his name, Chadmith Parias or whatever, a billionaire investor that took up a stake. It was a $1 million stake in some calls on GameStop this morning, which spiked it and caused a halt. Then you had another billionaire investor on Twitter saying he was considering jumping in. And then after hours, you got Elon Musk tweeting about GameStop, and who knows if he's going to invest in it. I mean, this It's not even, like I said, it's not even about GameStop anymore. It's more of a middle finger to the hedge funds that were screwing over the little guy for decades. And Wall Street is scared to death about this. They don't want people to know how fragile all this is, how easy it is to undermine them if you come together and just say, oh, you guys are shorting that? We're just going to come together and buy it. You can't stop us. They'll say, oh, you're illegally manipulating the stock price to make it go higher. Funny how they never turn the light on the hedge funds that are illegally manipulating the stock price for decades to make it go lower. It's always about the little guy getting screwed, isn't it? So, again, this whole story has completely blown up into something I could have never, ever imagined. Nobody could have seen this. Nobody. Like, you have to be absolutely insane to have predicted this extreme, this quickly. Yeah, people saw the short squeeze. Yeah, people thought it might happen. But just like, here it is, right away. I mean, you look at the 2 month, the 1 month chart, it's basically a parabolic, straight up. For a company that, again, hasn't really done anything yet. I believe in their future. I still believe in what they're going to be able to bring to the customers, and I'm very excited about that. But as an investor in them, I'm like, wow, this is quite the roller coaster ride. I don't know how much higher it's going to go. As far as my position, I've had a lot of people inquire where I'm at with it. I've de-leveraged a bit of my position, but I'm still, I'd say, based off of the increases today, I'm still heavily invested in it because it keeps going up so much, which is like, at the end of the day, you're kicking yourself because like, oh, if I just stayed in, I would have made so much more money. But then you don't know when that party's going to end. So you have to slowly deleverage your way out of this. I don't know when it's going to end. I mean, hell, for all I know, it goes to $1,469.69. Like that's literally, you could just throw whatever numbers you want on the wall right now. And it's so upside down. And these institutions that are shorting it for so long are so screwed that who knows? It could just keep climbing to that. But I do know it's not going to last forever. So just tread lightly with this. Have fun with it. Realize that we are living in a historic moment for stocks in general. I didn't even turn on CNBC today. I couldn't, because yesterday I was listening to it and I was just getting so frustrated at how they kept turning this on the individual investor instead of actually focusing on why it's actually exponentially increasing in price. They just wanted to pass the buck and act like this is wrong, this shouldn't be happening, and trying to scare people out of continuing to invest in it. And that really frustrated me. I don't want that to come across in this video. I just want to acknowledge both sides of the situation and realize what we're living through right now is historic. This is going to go in history books. Like, they'll be talking about this in business classes for the rest of eternity. As long as civilization is still here and the stock market still exists, this will be a case study for the ages that will be studied in depth. What happened? Why did it happen? And how did it continue to perpetuate into something of this magnitude? And like I said, it's far from over according to what After Hours is telling me right now. So with that in mind, I'm going to leave the video right there. I had a bunch of people ask me to keep posting my thoughts on the situation. This week is the wildest week I think most of us who are investors will ever see in our lifetimes. It's really fun because it's going the right way, but just like how the stock market can work, it can go in the other way, and it's really not that fun. So enjoy it while it lasts, have fun with it, and I'm very interested to see where GameStop stock goes from here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, you stay smashing.